Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Week 10 over-unders to bet. We got the NFL hat. We're ready to go. We've been really good with over-unders this year, and this is kind of like a note to John Lawson. I need to bet these more, and I need to narrow which ones I like to bet. I've always just get a little bit cautious betting the over-unders because they're painful to watch. Let's get this money, and we got a great list of over-unders. First game, Thursday Night Football. We got the Las Vegas Raiders at the Denver Broncos, over under 43. I'm going under, but I already did a separate video on this. Plenty of meat on this slate for us to pick through. Next game, we got the Cleveland Browns at the New York Jets, over under 37.5. Money. Guys, I'm going under. And it's rather simple. Dylan Gabriel versus most likely Justin Fields. And we might be getting Garrett Wilson back this game. And obviously that's something that could help this Jets offense. On the Jets offense, I do like their offensive line and the way they're playing. But I don't think that Jets offense had a come-to-Jesus moment against the Cincinnati Bengals. And credit to Justin Fields for what he did. But I think that was more of, how can I say it, Cincinnati Bengals defense being bad, and we're going to see more Jets offense like they put forth against the Panthers. On the other side, we got a Cleveland offense that can run the football, and Jets aren't going to have Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams, and there's still some players on this Jets defense, but even with all of those guys, they haven't been good, so I get the caution, but I'll just repeat, it's Dylan Gabriel. I'm going the under. Make it a damn money pick. Next game, we got the New Orleans Saints at the Carolina Panthers, over under 39.5. I'm going over, but I think Tyler Shoug's really bad, so there's really no lean here, no reason to dive into it. Next game, we got the Atlanta Falcons at the Indianapolis Colts. We're going to Munich, over under 48.5. I'm going to go under. And I get it, Colts seem to always get into the high 20s, and this is a Falcons defense that has been pretty damn good this year, but I think they're susceptible against the run game. That's if Shane Steichen decides to throw it. He decides to run it. He barely ran it the whole first half against the Steelers, if you're watching that game. But I'm going to go under here because I worry about Mike Penix. I worry about Atlanta's offense. But I worry about Daniel Jones' psychology. He's always been a rather fragile guy, and we'll see if Steichen can get his confidence back up, because if I knew he was mentally tough, I would just go the over. But I'm going under, and also it being in Europe has to make this a little bit more complicated. Next game, we got the Buffalo Bills at the Miami Dolphins, over under 50.5. Money. I'm going to go over, but the money pick is on the Bills team total, and this is a borderline money pick because the Bills team total is, I believe it's 29.5 at minus 118. So take that with a grain of salt, because I like the over 50.5 in the full game, but I don't know if the Dolphins can be a dance partner, and we've seen them move the ball a lot this year. Their offense really isn't as bad as people think, but I'm sure everyone saw that Thursday night game against the Ravens, and they're a really frustrating unit on offense, and maybe that Bills defense is trending up, or maybe it was an Alamo-type performance against the Chiefs. But that's why I should say, take that out of the equation and let's go team total with the Bills for a borderline money pick. I think they can get to 30. No Jalen Phillips. More secondary injuries for the Dolphins. I don't think Storm Duck's coming back. It's bad, man, on that Dolphins side of the football. They were playing better, but I just don't see how they can keep it going. I'm going over the team total for the Buffalo Bills, 29.5. Next game, we got the Jacksonville Jags at the Houston Texans, over under 37.5. I'm going under. Guys, I think there's a possibility that this can get into overtime. I also think there's a possibility both defenses can create turnovers and both defenses can get touchdowns. I just think there's a little bit of risk here, and I don't want to like slang a money pick because I just think this Jags defense is vulnerable if they're not forcing turnovers. I'm going under the 37.5. Next game, we got the Baltimore Ravens at my Minnesota Vikings over under 49.5. I'm going to go over. And like I said on the Tuesday video when we were talking about the 4.5, whatever it's at now, this is a really complicated game to handicap. I'm going to go over because, firstly, I have questions about this Ravens defense, and I don't even think they're all that great at stopping the run now. And I think if the Vikings can get the run game going, if that offensive line stays healthy for a full game, which they did against Detroit, knock on wood, if this Vikings offensive line stays healthy during the game, I think they can get some movement. And I think KOC can create some easy throws like he did for J.J. McCarthy. But the reason why you can't bet this is because we don't know what we're going to see from JJ. I think you can throw it against the Ravens, and obviously the Vikings are stacked with wide receivers, but do you want to bet on that? I certainly don't. On the other side, I think this is a vulnerable Vikings defense as well, and I think you can get at them, and Lamar Jackson and the Ravens have no shortage of weapons on offense. I'm going over the 49.5, not an inch of science. Next game, we got the New York Giants at the Chicago Bears. The Bears over under 46.5. Money, money, money. Money. Last week, a Bears game was a money pick. This week, it will be as well. You do worry because it's going to be like 36 degrees, maybe a little bit of snow in Soldier Field. But I don't think it's going to be anything that changes the landscape and conditions too much. Like, just watch the wind. I think the wind's going to be at like 12 to 15. Nothing insane. Just check it when it gets closer before you put the bet in. And I think the Bears have one of the worst defenses in the league. And I told you guys last week, I'm more worried about the Bears defense than I am Caleb Williams. And I'm really worried about some of the injuries we're seeing from this Bears defense. So I think Jackson Dart, even with limited weapons, can be something of a dance partner. On the other side, we have a Bears offense that if they're able to run the football and they're playing a weak defense, they can be very comfortable. And we saw Loveland go off last week, and I think that's a factor in making Caleb Williams more comfortable. I was surprised, I'm not surprised to see a team put up lots of points on the Bengals, but I was surprised, like if you told me, oh, the Bears have put up 40 fucking points and Roman Dunes doesn't have a big game, I would be shocked. So now that Caleb is diversifying the targets, I think this Bears offense is full go mode, and this is the Giants defense, and the Giants defense is ass. I'm going over the 46.5. Make it a damn money pick. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Let's get this money. Next game, we got the New England Patriots at the Tampa Bay Bucs over under 48.5. I'm going to go over. This was one I had on my list. Some books have it at 48, like Bet365 has it at 48. Yeah, guys, I'm going to go over. I think Tampa Bay gets to 24, and the big question is, can Drake May operate and make explosive plays without a run game again? Because the Patriots already can't run the ball. They're not doing well picking up blitzes. But one thing Drake May can do is avoid pressure and extend plays and then also hit you with an explosive play. And that's what you get from the Patriots. So I'm going to go over the 48.5. I think this Bucs offense has to show up, man. I know Baker's not going to get Godwin or Bucky back, but I think a team that needed the bye week the most was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think they respond, and they're going to have to throw it a lot, man, because the Patriots' run defense is very fierce. I have it rated as one of the best run defenses in the league. So I think this game is going to have a lot of throwing. It's going to be a long game. I think it's going to go to like 425. It could turn into a shootout. I'm going over the 48.5. Just have some questions about the Patriots' blitz pickup in this game. Next game, we got the Detroit Lions at the Washington No Names, over under 49.5. Guys, I'm going to go over. I just don't have a high degree of certainty on what the Commanders can do as a dance partner. So there's no science. I'm going to just pass on this game. I'm going to go over if you made me make a choice. Next game, we got the Arizona Cardinals at the Seattle Seahawks, over under 45.5. Money, 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 money. I'm going to go under. Make it a money pick. Firstly, before we talk about the Hawks defense versus the Cardinals offense, I got to be honest, man. I'm liking the way this Cardinals defense played, and some people are saying they got luck or turnovers against the Cowboys. I don't know, man. I feel like that Cowboys offense is a train, and to go into Jerry World and hold the Cowboys, what was it, to 17 is no small feat, and they're generating more pressure against the passer, which is something they obviously need to do. So I think they'll send blitzes at Sam, and I think they could get under his craw a little bit. The Shaheed trade is obviously going to help and make the Seahawks team an absolute tour de force. But I do think the Cardinals will have a good shift defensively. So I think this is on John Gannon to right the ship and come up with a good game plan. He's going to need one. But the main reason for this under is I like the way Jacoby's playing. I like how the Cardinals offense has been simplified. 2 tight ends, a lot of running out of single back, play action. You see McBride, you see Marvin Harrison Jr. They're running routes better. They're more in comfort. There's more symbiosis and script with the offense, which is obviously something you're going to need, especially against a really good defense like the Seahawks. But the Seahawks front is absolutely nasty and ruthless, and I think they can put a halt to this Cardinals running game. And if the Cardinals can't run it and we get Jacoby Brissett in 3rd and 8, 3rd and 12 the whole game, I can't say I love their chances. I'm going under the 45.5. Make it a damn money pick. Next game, we got the Los Angeles Rams at the San Francisco 49ers, over under 49.5. I actually really like this over. It's just when these two teams play, you never know what the fuck is going to happen. And it looks like Bryce Huff might play for the 49ers. And what Salah's doing defensively is amazing given the injuries and talent he has at his disposal. But I think this Rams offense can get to that like 27-point range. But I love this Rams defense going into the year, and they were absolutely phenomenal against Shuck and the Saints last week, and they're definitely trending in the right direction. But I do think Shanahan can create enough points to be a dance partner to push theirs towards over. I'm going over the 49.5, but like I said, these 49ers-Rams games are just complete dice rolls. Like, when I picked the Rams 49ers 3.5 on Tuesday, bro, like, it seems like a slam dunk money pick for the Rams. But with these two teams, it's just like playing fucking what do people play in the back corner alley? Craps. It's like playing craps, man. At a certain point, I'm going over the 49.5. Next game, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Los Angeles Chargers, over under 45.5. This is complicated. I'm going to go over the 45.5. I'm going to go over. I can't say I love it, though. And it always seems like every Steelers game pushes towards over. And I absolutely love what Aaron Rodgers is doing this year. And I definitely think this Chargers defense is way softer than it was last year, and you can have way more liberty against them. But I do question the explosiveness on this Steelers offense. outside of DK Metcalf, like there's no one I trust. The Chargers side, okay, they got Trevor Penning, but Joe Alt's going to miss the whole year. You just don't know if the Steelers' defense line is going to turn it on and be dominant, or they're going to play like they did the first 6-7 weeks of the year. You just don't know. The Steelers' defense, it's really bad, man, but the defensive line gets going. We know what that can do. Pressuring the quarterback creates and helps and creates and solves problem for the secondary. I'm going over the 45.5. No science. I'm just going to go over because Herbert. Next game, we got the Philadelphia Eagles at the Green Bay Packers. Over, under 45.5. I'm going to go under. This is one I wouldn't be opposed to waiting to Monday night and maybe betting it. I mean, both of these teams have been inconsistent. Both of these teams have looked sloppy at times. And the main question and why I didn't make it a money pick is I wonder if this Eagles defense coming out of the bye week, I wonder if they're going to be ready to fight and if Vic Fangio was able to solve their issues. I'm leaning towards yes, but I have no physical evidence or evidence that that's going to happen. I'm just assuming because there still is talent on that defense, and they were able to get Jalen Phillips, which I think is what one thing they desperately needed, a defensive end who can rush the passer without them having to blitz. That's so important to the scheme. But I'm also worried about this Tucker Kraft injury for the Packers. That's one reason why I'm going under, and I go on a rant every single week about it, but I don't want to beat a dead fucking horse. But Tucker Kraft is the only receiving option I think that is like plus value for Jordan Love. The rest of the options are below average targets, no matter how much people try to hype them up, no matter how young they are. Like, these guys are like fucking really pedestrian. The only guy who really just that has Love's trust and you can trust in those big situations, those high leverage situations, is Tucker Kraft. And without him, I wonder what the Packers offense is going to do. I wonder if they can run it against the Eagles. Same problem with the Eagles offense. I wonder if they can throw it. I think it's going to be a Saquon game. I think we see Saquon get the ball 20 to 25 times. I'm going under the 45.5. Playoff type atmosphere, could be a sloppy game, big game. Let's get this money. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share the videos. The best gambling show on the internet. Let's go, guys.